the biggest addiction in human history, potentially, is our addiction to our mobile phones. Addiction to devices, but in particular our mobile phones. And this is something I've seen over the last few years, but now more than ever. And it's probably getting worse, and progressively getting worse. And yeah, there's lots of examples I see in my life where people are just oblivious to what's around them. They're head down on their phones, not really experiencing life, headphones in, and just not really taking things in and not really living life properly. And I think that affects society. Probably one of the main negative effects in society. There are other things, but this is definitely an important thing. Probably a bigger addiction than even food, which is something we consume on a daily basis. So yeah, massive impact on society, and to be honest, a negative impact. I know these devices are probably designed, and the applications, social media and these things are designed to keep us on them. However, we need to have some self-awareness and accountability to stop us from being led astray in this way, because I think it's affecting society quite bad. A couple of examples I notice. One is, even so I'm in town and I'm walking down the street, I notice a lot of people are walking with their headphones in. They're on their phones, their head down, they're glued to the screen. Some people are even they're not taking anything in that's around them. They're kind of somewhere else, really. But they're oblivious to things around them. And some people are even cross roads looking at their phone and stuff. They're not really paying attention. They might look up a couple times, but they're kind of crossing roads on their phone. They're not making eye contact with anyone. When I'm walking and I'm in town or get myself integrated into society, I'm looking at people and making eye contact where I can, and maybe occasionally saying hello to people, depending on maybe if I know them or not. But kind of interacting with people a little bit, and that's something that humans, I think, we're designed to do. And I did do a video before on this about how important it is our social relationships, social relations, how important it is on our health, and it's more important than a lot of these other things, like exercise or whether your diet's good or not. But human relations, our relationships with people and the quality of them, is actually one of the biggest effects on our health and our longevity as a human being. And what these devices do is take away that real social aspect. We kind of it's kind of still there, but it's in a weird way. It's like a Black Mirror kind of. It's like a third party in a relationship. And I'm not saying there's no benefits to our devices. Like, you can reach a lot of people, and sometimes it can be convenient, and you can speak to people when you're not physically with them. So there are benefits to it, and I use my device. But we need to understand that we need to use our devices, not let them use us, not be overconsumed by them, use them when they're actually necessary. And definitely have a lot more self-awareness over our addiction to these things, because it is a huge addiction, and people ultimately are making the decision to be enslaved to these devices and they're forgetting how to live properly, really. And it's affecting us massively on a kind of spiritual level and a emotional and mental level, and it's affecting our relationships with each other, which is in a negative way, which isn't a good thing. That's all I had to say. So use your device, don't let it use you. I see this from all kind of generations. I think particularly it's important to point out for the younger generation, but anyone really, because I do see it in all demographics, all ages and all genders. But we've got to be you know, we've got to be less enslaved to them, and I think that comes from self-awareness. That's the reason I'm making this video, so people are a bit more aware of it. But yeah, we need to check that. We need to check ourselves, and don't just, you know, try and run from ourselves and use these little distractions, you know, vaping and going on our phones and getting, you know, instant hits of, it's definitely a psychological thing, of like dopamine and cortisol or whatever it is, this, you know, rewarding our brain when we haven't really done anything. It's this short-term pleasure we need to, you know, avoid. And yeah, no, another, you know, bad thing about them is these devices. I know it's ironic, I'm recording a video and you're on your device listening to this, but just take what you need from these things. I'm spreading awareness here, but, you know, watch this video and then come off your device. Don't just, you know, sit around on there. There's a million things you can do on your device. You could spend your whole lifetime on there, but, you know, you might look back on it one day and wish you didn't spend so much time on your phone or whatever device you're watching from. It's not really living. So yeah, just bear this in mind. Yeah, live life properly, interact with people, and yeah, don't be enslaved to the devices so much. Just use them when you need to use them, come off of it, and yeah, be done with it. Yeah, and yeah, these devices, the blue light and stuff, and possibly the EMFs they release as well, have a negative impact on our health as well. So blue light, staring at a screen. I think the phone screens I've noticed are particularly worse. I think they're worse than computer screens, but yeah, I think any screen's not good, but the blue light from the phones, I think it's particularly bad. I've noticed it's like worse than like a computer screen or a television, but nothing's really good. None of these things are really good. They're not really natural. They're damaging to our eyes and our brains, and you should really avoid them. As you've woken up, I would leave like an hour or at least 40 minutes, I'd recommend, before going on your phone after you've woken up, and also like probably a similar time frame before you go to sleep. So that'll affect your sleep and your brain, and you need to switch off and, you know, wind down during those times. And yeah, you don't want to just be constantly on your phone and looking at screens during these times. So yeah, that's everything for today. But yeah, bear that in mind, guys, and check yourself if it's you, particularly younger generation, but I guess everyone.